Hey everyone, welcome back with my episode 2 anime review of Akame Got Kill. Oh boy. Akame Got Kill so far is my favorite anime of the season. All the Noah is close. But for me, Akame Got Kill is really killing it, no pun intended. And this episode was actually very simple, but it worked out very well to help show our main male character Tatsumi's resolve. Okay. Because essentially this episode was about Tatsumi being accepted into Night Raid. He essentially at first by Leona gets introduced to lots of the other members, although according to the Akame Got Killed wiki there's going to be even more characters in Night Raid. Not sure if they're in there yet or not, or just they'll be in there later. But either way though. Some of the other members include Bulat, who's like this extremely muscular guy who seems to be really good in with the bow staff especially, but I imagine he'd be the type who'd be really good in martial arts as well. And then of course there's Akame, who we saw before. Last episode she basically tried to kill Tatsumi. And there was I forget I can't even remember her name. She's basically the leader. She seems to have like a robotic arm or something. So, I mean, I'll be really interested to see her backstory. Hopefully we do in this anime. And then there was Mine, who's basically the tsundere girl of the bunch. She's the tsundere of the bunch. Although I still like her character, though, at least for the time being. Of course, he already knew Leone. I think there might have been... there's also that one guy, I forget his name, who's basically a pervert trying to peek into Leone in the bath shower, so... Yeah. And those are basically the members that he meets in this episode, and I really love this lineup in Night Raid. Each character is different, and each character is likable. They have some sort of personality. And hell, we're even getting not really development, I'd say, but getting character depth for Akame already, which I didn't expect to see for a while. She is the title character, so I would assume that she would be one of the best developed characters, if not the best developed character in the series, but I didn't expect to get even any character depth for her, really, as soon as episode 2, considering this series is supposed to be like 24 episodes in the end, I think. So basically, her character depth in this episode amounts to mainly to the fact that she was being really harsh on Tatsumi during her training, but we learn at the end of the episode the reason for that is because she lost a close friend of hers. Not sure if it was just a friend or if they were actually in love. That was not explained. She lost him in battle, and because of that, she was being really harsh on Tatsumi because she didn't want to see him die. I'm not sure if that's because maybe he resembles that person, or maybe she just needs someone to help fill the void because she's still hurting about it. Who knows? We also got to see her smile for the first time in this episode, at the end of this episode as well. So yeah, we also learned that she and her sister. So, yeah, she has a sister. We also learned that she and her sister were basically taken in by the capital and trained to become assassins with many other children, and Akame was the only one who survived, too. So that's a little bit more character depth as well. So we got quite a bit of character depth for Akame in this video, or in this episode, which I honestly didn't expect this early on in the series. Okay, so... And I've actually been told, or I've heard, that there's going to be prepare for character deaths. And I guess that kind of does count as a spoiler for manga readers, for anime-only watchers. But character deaths, huh? Out of this group, there's 3 characters I wouldn't want to die. Tatsumi, because he's the main character, a good main character, and, well, obviously he's not going to die. Akame, because she's actually my favorite character now. And Leona. those three characters I really don't want to fucking die. I'll just take it down to Akame and Leona though, because we know the main character's not gonna die in a series like this. So yeah, but I mean, if Akame and Leona did die, I would accept it. I wouldn't want their deaths to be half-assed or anything, but I would still accept it because it would add more tension to the plot, obviously. So more character deaths is something that's really interesting that I'm definitely looking forward to. I'm glad that this series doesn't seem to be one that's afraid to kill off characters. Hell, even in episode 1 they showed 2 characters that we didn't care much about, but they showed them in very gruesome deaths. So yes, clearly this is a series that isn't afraid to do shit like that, which I'm happy about, okay? Anyways, all of these characters that were revealed in this episode so far seem to be very likable, okay? Which I'm glad. Anyways, though, the mission in this episode was very simple. They were to hunt down the ogre and one of his assistants and kill them because due to their client being like this woman whose husband was framed and killed by the ogre, which he's not an actual ogre, that's just his name, the ogre. Or, not sure if that's his name, but that's what people call him, right, the ogre. And so Leona and Akame succeed in killing his assistant, I don't remember what his name is, and then Tatsumi alone goes after the ogre, who quickly discovers that it was actually that old man's woman who ends up asking them to take them out, essentially. And Tatsumi does this alone because he's trying to earn their Night Raid's respect, essentially. And it's a bit tough for him in the end, but he does end up killing the ogre all by himself in the end, without being wounded. And it's after he reports his mission that we learn that the whole thing about Akame, the reason why she didn't want him that she was so hard on him is because she didn't want him to get hurt and blah 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 because of her friend or boyfriend, whatever it was, in the past who died and whatnot. So yeah, and that pretty much wraps up what happened in this episode. And it was very good, okay? Really, like, Akame ga Kill is... Episode 2 I thought was way better than episode 1. Even though it didn't really show gruesome scenes of people being tortured to death. Which I think was the highlight of the last episode, as fucked up as that sounds. It really exceeded my expectations. The only issue I could really have with this episode was I did feel it was a bit fast-paced. I mean, it wasn't, like, rushed beyond belief, okay? But it was, like anime such as Mahoka and Black Bullet was last season, and Mahoka was from last season to this season. Okay? But it's still a very good series, and right now, all to know is close, but Akame ga Kill so far is my favorite anime of the season. Okay? Like, it really is. Like, that animation was amazing, too, especially during Tatsumi's fight with the ogre. Captain Ogre, I think is what he's actually called. Like, the way the blood is spraying and their movements were just animated so amazingly. So, I think I'm going to just about wrap up this review, though. Again, the only problem I had, which is more of a nitpick, was I felt it was paced a little bit too fast, but it wasn't any outrageously fast pacing. Okay. But anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See you after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.